G'day guys, it's Jake here. Nothing in this video is financial advice. Please do your own research when it comes to investing. Please be sure to check out my links below, including exchanges I use and social media content that I post. All right, let's go. Okay, so the topic for this video, we're going over the crypto market, in particular Bitcoin versus altcoins, seeing how it's holding up and checking in with certain charts. But firstly, you want to go over the Fear and Greed Index and see how that's tracking and the Bitcoin search trends worldwide. So first up, we'll go over the Fear and Greed. And as you can see, we are at 54. We are neutral. And sorry for these ads. And we go to the timeline, and you can see that we were in this trough, right, in August, late August, 28th, right? We got to 30. And then we've been trading under the 30 level for a bit. Early September, it was pretty bearish. As you can see, then eventually broke above it at 10th of September. Came back for a pullback. And then up and down, 50, back to 33. And now we're sort of out of it and we're sort of charging higher. And we're in the 50s now and sort of neutral territory before we get to greedy levels. And if you go back a year, to show you where we were a year ago, it was around 26 roughly a year. We're at 46, so really we haven't done much. And it's being, in terms of fear and greed, it's pretty neutral, right? And yeah, nothing to really talk about there. It's pretty boring. We haven't got this euphoria yet. I mean, this was the start of the pretty much right after the Bitcoin spot ETF. So in January there, we had a big sell-off, right? And then it rose back up after that. And then early March, we had nice peaks in the 90s. And it's really pretty much following Bitcoin's price. It's going down like Bitcoin is. And it's just going lower lows and lower highs, as you can see there, right? And now it's just starting to base out and shoot up. Is it the start of the next leg higher? We'll have to wait and see, as always, because we don't know. We're not fortune tellers. We don't know what the future is. It seems pretty interesting that we're getting a big pop now, as I suppose the stock markets are going up and the crypto market just follows it. And yeah, it's usually a sign, that it's pretty boring. The market's okay. There's nothing really to see. But I'll show you in the Google search trends that it's actually not looking as good underneath the mat. Behind the curtain, underneath all the disguise of the sentiment on Twitter, especially. See all these bull posters out there just going nuts at the moment, seeing that rate cuts are bullish, get on board. You're going to miss out. Next 3 to 6 months are going to be crazy, okay, according to these influencers. So don't miss out. Get in now. Miss the train, and it'll be all over before you know it. And we are brokey, and stay broke if you don't get on this opportunity. It's going to be the biggest regret, right? And all these people are coming out saying that, and it's all these people it's overwhelming. It's so overwhelming now. It feels like it feels a little toppy to me. It feels very, very over euphoric. But on the contrary, look at the Bitcoin search trends the last 5 years worldwide, and what you get is we're right down to 18. It's really low. So where is everybody? His influencers are going nuts at the moment, but no one gives an F. And you can see that we're at 18, right? We were 18 in June this year. Yep, there we go. It's got close to it in February, January to February, right after the Bitcoin spot ETF was approved. And yeah, you can see that we're around these levels in October, September. So this time last year, we're at these levels. So very low levels in the bear market. Look, 2022, we're at these levels. And we're just going low. It's pointing down. It wants to go even lower. So not very good signs, and it shows that retail is not involved in this year-long rally, basically. From the start of the year to now, Bitcoin's done really, really well. Some altcoins have, but most of them, I suppose. Some of them are okay, but Bitcoin's been the winner. If you look at overall altcoin market, and you go to the 2004 to present, so the inception of Bitcoin to now, and you can see it's just going down. See, 18. So it's had a little peak up, and then boom, straight back down again. Back to June, and look like we're heading lower to this time last year. So it's going a lot lower. And yeah, it does trend up over time to the higher lows. So the lows go higher and higher and higher, as you can see there. But the highs look like they're going down. So you got 100 there in December 2017. But in 2021, 66 was the high. And yeah, we got 40. So it looks like it's pretty... the highs aren't as euphoric as it was back in the day. And I got involved in this cycle. So I wasn't in the 2017, I was 2021. Didn't do so well. But yeah, you learn your lessons. I'm getting smacked and they're listening to influencers. And it makes you really, really angry when they're doing it time and time again and they don't care. They just want the clout and to suck more people in and use people's extra liquidity and promote projects and pump and dump on everybody. They're the scum of the industry. They provide no value. They just brag and they just scam, essentially. And I'm not calling out particular people, but you can go and find them and you'll see them with the big followers, ones with the most followers, and the ones that just bull post all day and they just want bloody clout. Okay, so over those people. And yeah, we could see one day that this industry matures and these people just get washed out and becomes like the tech industry, the internet, and you just get a lot more good projects come out and to start to, revolutionise the finance space, the DeFi space, gaming, and then it becomes a proper community, proper space, professional space, where there's less bad actors. Okay, we get too many bad actors, even celebrities coming into the space and pumping and dumping on their audience. The ones that aren't even involved in crypto, they get involved. But yeah, I just want to go into a rant there, but just don't fall for these people, all right? And yeah, Bitcoin's going down. All right, so that is that one. And Bitcoin price on the 3-day time frame, it looks to be approaching this high here. We're getting very close, 64.2. Okay, and bull market support band, it is above it. So it's broken above the SMA. EMA is down below. The 20-week SMA has been breached and smashed through it. And next level is this one here, this candle. All right. And also, if you go on the MA ribbon, you find that this is the 200-day moving average. Okay. The 200-day. I'll show you for proof. That loads. A bit slow, but there's 200, 1-day time frame, as you can see there. The MA ribbon. And we are stuck at it right now. We're struggling to get above it, and we wicked a couple of times, and now we're starting to breach it. This is the 3-day time frame. You go on the daily, and it looks more evident on the daily, okay? As you can see, look at the wicks there. Okay, now it's very, very clear that the bulls are fighting this level. I'm just trying to stay above, and we are wicking in between these MAs. So the 21-week SMA and the 200-day SMA. So, yeah, that's that. And Bitcoin is struggling, and we have to wait for this breakout to occur. And I do see this breaking to the upside. Okay. And probably it'd easily get through this high. But the challenge will be is getting above this level. Okay. This downward sloping trend line. As you can see, it's rejected from it previous times. Okay. Very, very clear. And down to the downside. This is a perfect parallel channel descent. Okay. And we do have a level overhead. All right. So that's 68,000 or so, as you can see there. And we have this this yellow line at 71,500, which is the topper end level, all right, where most touches occurred, as you can see there, all right. And if I go on the weekly and show you right now that, it's very clear that the candle closes here. Candle close, wick. So the most touches, the best fit line is at 71,500. So if it gets above that, right, and we get above it and we breach, we can have a mania phase by the end of the year going into 2025. And then all the bulls will be right, and I'll be the sideline, and I'll be wrong. And then you can grill me. I don't care. But this recession is coming very soon. It's not long from now, and I don't think Bitcoin's going to fare well, and especially the rest of the crypto market's going to fare well in a recession. It's going to get destroyed. All right. In the last recession, it suffered and it lived through was the pandemic crash. And look what happened. The pandemic hit, and a recession was very short-lived because money came from the Fed, and they just threw money at it, all right, with COVID, and they stimulated it pretty quickly, and they resulted in a big rotation. So the cash came in and went to the big guys first, and they deployed it, and they bought assets with it. And of course, the markets recovered pretty quickly. Otherwise, we had a pretty bad, even worse sell-off. But the Fed stepped in, saved the day, of course, as they always do. And the markets rallied, right? That was a halving year, and then going into the bull year. Right, so that was a recession. So it was short-lived, but it was a black swan as well. This one here it's not a black swan. It's creeping up. The unemployment rate's slowly rising. Inflation's coming down. And yeah, it's weak economic data that I'm seeing. It's not looking positive for the US economy, and recession is around the corner. It's just a matter of time. GDP numbers coming negative, and then we can start saying, yep, we're in a recession. But not yet, but it's coming. So this is, in my opinion, very unlikely. And I do see it's struggling here at this level, right? Potentially going up there, but projecting, and then back down and then back down. 41K by the end of the year is what I'm targeting. I could be completely wrong. I'm prepared to be wrong, but eventually 41K, because this upsloping trend line, all right, is itching to be touched again. That's a scratch that needs to be itched. And this level here is the consolidation area of the Bitcoin spot ETF. As you can see there, early January, and that wick down in sort of mid to late Jan, and then that was it. Boom. So yeah, Bitcoin needs to get above this 200-day to reclaim and retest these candles at 64, just above 64, and then 68K, right, roughly. And if we don't get above that, then we're going down, and we're just going to sell off. And that's the last try for the bulls, in my opinion. This will be it. I do see probably more bullish momentum going into the elections in just over a month's time. I want this over and done with. I'm sick of hearing about it. I'm sick of these bloody politicians and that bragging and carrying on about what they're promising to their people. Absolute nonsense. I just want it to be over and done with, so the markets can just have no excuses and reasons to move in the desired direction that should be moving in, the realistic direction, which should be down, not up. But what do you got to take what the market gives you. You can't just pray and hope that it goes your direction. So that is that one. All right, so as Bitcoin on the weekly and 3-day time frame, Ethereum, and it's nowhere near its bull market support band or 200-day moving average. Okay, but yeah, you can see this wedge here, right? This wedge pattern, and it's been zigzagging in between it, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we broke out of it, came back down, and see this wick came down to these EMAs or MAs. Doesn't matter, MAs, SMAs, and then bam, made a new high above that one, but didn't make an all-time high. It's made a local high. We breached this level, of course. Came back down to these bull market support bands. All right, came up, didn't make a new high. We made a double top. Came down, came up. So head and shoulders sort of thing. The head and these two shoulders broke it. Right down there. This panic. Again, carry trade, sell off, had in the stock market, came back down to just below 2,000, so 900-ish, and back in this wedge, okay, back in this triangle, but then we rallied back up, all right. And will we go higher and go to the top end of this bull market support band? It's estimated around $3,000, and then the 200-day should start to slope down and meet pretty closely, and bam, there we go. And eventually, I see it going $1,000. All right, ETH is where I see it going. And yeah, it's not a bullish sign. Rate cuts. And I do see it becoming a really weak asset, especially when the Fed continue to roll off their balance sheet. The balance sheet keeps going lower. That means that risk assets against lower risk assets, the high risk assets like ETH versus Bitcoin, will go lower until we have QE, which the Fed start printing money and buying bonds and mortgage-backed securities and the rest of them, and treasuries and whatever else. You can bundle them all in there, and yeah, so that's what the Fed will do. They'll buy those assets, and the ETH Bitcoin chart, Ethereum as Bitcoin will go up, and USD pair can continue to bleed lower. Okay, can continue to go down. Right, that happens. All right, so ETH USD needs to rally a little bit higher there. Okay, to 3K. And I'll show you why as well. Another reason why I think it can go a little bit higher. And if I go ETH, and hang on. I'll show you this chart. As you can see, there's a gap there. See the gap? Nice and clear for you. As you can see here, we have this gap. Needs to be filled. All right, and where are we? Right, these moving averages, right? As I showed you, right here, 3K. Well, this blue one's really a bit higher on the ETH USD chart, but ETH futures chart, it lines up between these the bull market support band. Okay, so that is around 3K. Okay, 3K needs to be filled. The price comes up here, and then we can say, okay, it's it for ETH, and boom, and lower we go. Because if you look even further, so I've noted previously, something's interesting to see. If I can find it, if I go on the 3-day time frame, it might be easier to find it. And where is it? There is something notable. I might go on the daily time frame and have a look. It's there. It's there. Don't worry about that. Just here we go. There it is. Found it. All right. See this level here? See this? That's a gap. It's a gap left behind way back here in March 2023. And around the bull market support band there, as you can see, and the 200-day moving average. And price never came back down to fill it. So I do see that getting filled eventually. That's around 1440 to 1530-ish. So somewhere in this vicinity, I do see price coming back down here. All right. That's another reason why I see price going lower. Okay, if you want to look at gap fills, they do get filled a lot. Most of the time they do. Sometimes they take longer than expected, but you see gaps do get filled. All right, see gap got filled. This wick, see this wick filled the gap just about. Gap here got filled, wicked. And the gap here got filled. Gap got filled. And yeah, you can go back even further. Now all the gaps, gap, filled it. Gap, filled it. Gap. And there's another gap here actually didn't get filled. So yeah, $800. So didn't get filled. There's another one there. All right. And another one here. So yeah, there's gaps everywhere, but they will get filled eventually, as most do. To fill orders that have been missed out on. Okay. So that's the futures chart. And we have ETH Bitcoin. And yeah, what I'll do is turn these off. And weekly time frame, and you can see that we are at our levels, our target zone. 120% rise from the low in 2019 to this level here, which is pretty much the lower end of the box, 2.035 of a Bitcoin, Ethereum, and we haven't reached it yet quite there, but we're sort of touching the top of the box. I do see it's going a little bit lower to the lower end of this box at 0.035 and bottoming out, okay, into the end of the year sometime. And that will coincide with the balance sheet bottoming out, okay. If the Fed don't pivot soon enough, if they take a bit longer than expected to 2025, then we'll wait a bit longer, okay. So it all depends on the Fed's pivot and balance sheet, and that will mark a bottom in Ethereum, Bitcoin, and ETH can start outperforming Bitcoin, and the good times will be coming very, very soon after that. But yeah, you can't say anything yet until that's occurred. So yeah, this is Bitcoin and ETH versus Bitcoin, and I do see it coming with this rising trend line. Just touched like this low here in 2019, and got close to it in 2017, but I marked it from here, 2015 December. It touched there, and it lines up with this box pretty well. And you got 120% rise here, as you can see, from the low in 2016 December to the September low in 2019. Okay, so touch from low to low, it's 120%. If you go from low 2019 to where I expect it to go to, it's 120%. It's the same measurement, so it's quite interesting how I see it playing out, but it's only speculation, okay? But yeah, you can see a little bounce in the short term. So I did show you the bull market support band. Okay, it is going down, and it can rally up to it, okay, or even go above it and go lower. All right, we had plenty of attempts to try and reclaim, break above. Yeah, it does save up for a little bit of time. See, multiple weeks, and it goes down. So it's not like it has to go up there, or it can go higher. It can do what it wants. I don't know. It's very, very volatile. It's just a comparison of there. No one trades this pair. This is just the performance of ETH versus Bitcoin. Everyone trades ETH USD against the dollar, but this is against Bitcoin. And you can see it's been bleeding all the way down in 2023 and from 2022, 2021 December. It's you're down. You're losing big on against Bitcoin. Like the top here, it was 0.08 of a Bitcoin. Now it's only 0.04. So it's half, right? You get half what you can get back then. Half as much Bitcoin with your ETH you can get back then. So it's very, very notable to know that. And I do see it's going a little bit lower after a big pump. Another thing to look at too is Solana versus Ethereum. Okay, so Solana versus ETH, which is quite interesting. And you can see the top here, which is in November 2021. And we came up and we wicked, and they say all these wicks, but no body closes as a candle on the weekly. And it struggled to get above it. And we're still trying to push and reclaim. And yeah, I do see it's going lower. This is being the top, and then going back down to 0.033. Okay. And then if it gets really bad, then down we go. Recession gets really terrible. Then yeah, 0.015 and then 0.007 at the worst case scenario. And that's, Solana gets absolutely brutalized. And ETH will go down as well. But yeah, it's just the performance of Solana versus Ethereum will get just, people will be freaking out. Armageddon. But holding this support line, upward sloping channel, okay, for now, and resistance is holding, but nothing to really state. There's still the bull market support bands down here, and we're not near it yet. So it's all decision time. See if he wants to break out, and Solana giving him a good chance of flipping Ethereum, or we'll just reject and go down like it has done in the past. All right. And then we've got total 3. So all the altcoins versus Ethereum. And you can see this downward sloping trend line. Every time we come up to it, we reject. So here. I keep rejecting from it, okay. And reject. Been quite good. Got it there. And now we come back to it again. All right. And it is quite interesting to see that, every time it's rejected from it, it is being a ETH outperformance against the altcoins, ETH outperforming all the rest, total 3. And we are above it, so it did break out, but it looks like a fake out. It looks like it's going to go lower, okay? Looks like it's going to go, it's trick people and think that Ethereum is going to get destroyed against the alts, and you better convert your Ethereum into altcoins, so you can catch the big upward mania phase coming ahead. Okay, but I don't see that happening. I see this being a fake out and then back down. And eventually it comes back down to this level, big wick, and this touch here at around 1. So all total 3 minus USDT equals 1 ETH market cap. Okay, 1 Ethereum, total market cap. Okay, that's what the whole market should equal once it goes down to this level. But at the moment we're at 1.5, right? So that's notable. You got others versus Bitcoin. That's still up there. I do see it's playing out the same as it did in the 2018 cycle. It went down 67%, up 65%, down 62%. And we came back to these lows, as you can see there, very obvious. And then we had a top in 2021, so the next bull market, and down 68%, so similar, 67%, up 69%, up 65%, okay, and then down 70%. So this is down a little bit more on that one, and I do see it coming down to these lows, okay, touch, 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 as this low looks like it wants to break down, all right, and next level, if you want to go use support resistance, is down here, okay, next level is down here. There's no level in between that, but yeah, it's just others versus Bitcoin. It's not something that you can trade, okay, it's just a dominance pair, okay, what takes up more market cap, okay, so others make up 17% of Bitcoin's market cap. That's what that shows on the side here, okay. Then we have total 3 minus USDT divided by Bitcoin, so all the alts versus Bitcoin, and it's like an oscillator. It goes down, up, and then eventually we go down, lower, okay. And yeah, it's interesting to note that every time is QE, boom, alt outperform Bitcoin, and QT, they go down. See that? It's not a straight line, but eventually it sort of just bleed down. And then QE happens, it marks a bottom, and then it trades sideways, and then it shoots up. Then we hit the top of this range at 0.99, so close to these levels. It's a big deviation above, of course. But yeah, very left, it was above, that was above Bitcoin's market cap, to 1.34 Bitcoin's market cap, so well above one's Bitcoin market cap. Now it's just less than 1 Bitcoin market cap, and QT happens, and then boom, it bleeds, and we're not in QE yet. So I continue to see this chart struggling and bleeding lower as more Fed rate cuts come, and yeah, just more bearishness, or dominance from the Bitcoin chart against the alts, and taking more market share from the altcoins, and people trading into Bitcoin and ETH, the smart players, but everyone else be doing the opposite. And then it's seen going down to 0.25 to 25% of Bitcoin's market cap, which is these lows here, which is very notable. Okay. All right. All this little deviation there, and that being the bottom. And then when the Fed start buying assets again, and we start going higher. But yeah, it happens every cycle. It works really well. And yeah, I'll just follow this to a T, and this will be my trigger to get in, but not yet. It's not occurred, so hang on tight. I'll let you know when that does occur, but it hasn't occurred yet, all right? So yeah. So just be patient, and you'll have your turn, as they say. And yeah, you got total 3 market cap, and looking at that one, it's in this downward sloping parallel channel, and we're just starting to break above it, okay, and it looks bullish, and we're above the Bitcoin, it's Bitcoin bull market support band. It's a 21-week EMA and SMA, and we're above it on the weekly. Looks pretty bullish. Might be a fake out. Wait and see. But yeah, looking like it wants to go higher. But your gold did break out here, as you can see here, and it marked a top. Right, this is the wick, so the wick there, it marked a top, and then went lower. If you go back to 2019, it says gold broke out. It broke out here as well, so it marked a local top, and that went lower. So yeah, interesting how that happened in 2019 and happened in 2024. So yeah, it's interesting. Continues to fight this bull market swap band and these candles here, and will it go a lot higher and go up to 658 level billion, or will it go lower? All right. And you got oscillator is MACD, and we've just crossed bullish, so he's looking bullish on the MACD there, and it's these two just crossed. So we could see some upside in the short term for rolling over ultimately to head lower to my levels of 530 billion, which is the support level, and 450 billion, and then we have around the $300 billion level, right? Is lower end bear market low there. And then if you go back to here, you can see this is a level here in December 2018 when that had a bear market low, and it coincided with these levels right before the big parabolic shoot up, and we did come back and touch it. Okay, so it doesn't matter what that event was, it was a recession nevertheless, and it came down and it reclaimed this level, right? So that is important to note, and we haven't done that yet. So I do see it's come back lower, and it'll flush a lot of people out. It'll clean the space out, and a lot of celebrities will leave, which is good. Get rid of them all, and then refresh and restart. And people like me will come in and start buying up. All right, just come in and swoop in, and just like a magpie, swoop in and take the change, and just take the opportunity as it is, and strike and target these levels there. But at the moment, short-term bullish, but yeah, with gold continuing to rally higher, I see this going lower, right? So not something that you can hang a hat on. That this will be immediate alt season. Let's go for it. Total 3 is going to go parabolic. No. Then you got others dominance. It's trend line again. So you touched here 2016 December. And we had MACD crosses. And it was bullish. The MACD cross, bullish in the weekly. And we got the QT. And we did have a bullish cross, but it was QT. And then bam, sold off. Right, as it was rising, it sold off. And then we had a QE signal. It got closer, touching this trend line, as you can see here. We had a MACD cross, and then we went bullish. All right, we stayed above the 50 level around here, and we stayed above it, so it stays bullish. Came back down, and we crossed the MACD. We touched it again, and hello, and boom. Because we're in QE, it was obviously outperforming Bitcoin. Others chart, everything outside the top 10. Okay, that's what it is. Everything outside the top 10, it outperformed. It's the top 10, and then QT happened. It topped. They had to cross back D, and then boom, bearish. And then we had this divergence, 1, 2, 3, and then eventually touched this trend line. So you can see here, touch, 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 touch. It came back down to it, and we had this huge divergence, and then it rallied higher, and then crossed, and then went lower. Touched the trend line again, and now you've got this big MACD cross. We'll see what happens there. It's been pretty accurate. So, will others outperform? We'll have to wait and see. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? It can be just a fake out and then go lower. It's just, yeah. It's just what the charts are showing me is what the charts are showing me. And then you got a new chart here. I added Bitcoin plus ETH dominance. Okay. To those two in relation to the percentage of total crypto market cap, and they take up 72% equally, the whole crypto space. And yeah, they look like they're pretty steady and pretty strong and going to go higher. I see them going a lot higher, especially after this period in 2019, after they cut rates and it went higher. Okay. And they already cut rates, so I did see it going higher. Topping not long after that, but I don't know exactly where it's going to top. Probably could top at 85% level or slightly lower than that. Who knows? You could say from here, if I click on it properly and get the top there and get the bottom and say, okay, the Fibonacci is 61.8 or 0.6.8 should say, is 35.6%. So we could get around that level before topping out and then going lower. Who knows? That is something to watch out for. And that is that. Okay. That takes out drawing mode. Then you got Bitcoin dominance as well. And that continues to go higher in this channel. we remain bullish. We're in this channel still. Even become lower down to 55%. It's still bullish. And yeah, you see it going to 60 to 63%. Okay, you can see that. And that is the Fibonacci from the top to the, I hate this magnet tool. It's roughly there, 61.8. Okay, you can see there, this golden box. And goes higher and higher and higher, taking away market share from the altcoins. Bitcoin dominates. And USDT, same sort of thing. Continues higher and above this trend line, it still continues bullish. Okay, and every time I touch it, this is bad for Bitcoin and the altcoins. Come down to here, it's top for Bitcoin, top Bitcoin, top for Bitcoin, top for Bitcoin. And then that was a March top. And yeah, we're going higher. And we're struggling here. The 50% level, and this is 78.6 level. And we're just going to push higher. And who knows where we're going to go for this one, but it looks bullish for me. USDT against the altcoins, okay, and Bitcoin. And that is pretty well it. I think that is it. And then you got altcoins here. So I'm not going to go over them. And we see the futures are looking quite bullish, okay, as we head into the next session. And Nasdaq's looking like it wants to push and fill the gap. And S&P is much higher, looking even more bullish than the Nasdaq. And yeah, it just looks like it's charging higher and no end in sight, but it's all euphoric until something happens. Something weak data economically or news event or something happens, and then boom, the market just shifts and turns direction. But the end carry trade, another thing to look out for too. That could be a market disruptor, and that could be all over the stock market that really unfolds and unwinds. You're watching that event as well, along with the Fed actions and economic data, and the geopolitics after the elections are over, because elections are just taking everybody, distracting everybody, and the markets will still remain bullish until said otherwise, until it's over and the result comes in. Then we can come in and make our own minds up to unbiased views of the markets. And yeah, you can't make that as an excuse anymore. Once the person gets elected, there's no more hype behind it, and then people shift back to the markets to see what is the next catalyst for the further up move or down move. And the recession is very, very, very so likely, in my opinion. It's just coming so close, and then the stock market won't fare well, and Bitcoin and crypto will not go very well in the end of the recession. All right. So yeah, that is that, and that is the video. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Just going over the fear greed, seeing that it is pretty neutral, nothing really to say, boring. And then the Google Trends is quite interesting, where it's actually going lower. So less people interested in Bitcoin from a 5-year chart and a 2004 to present chart, suggesting Bitcoin is going lower and lower and lower, and less people are involved in the space. So retail really isn't involved in this recent uptick, especially in 2024. It's bullish momentum, and people don't care. Other things to worry about, high inflation and their own cost of living pressures, and they're not going to buy Bitcoin and altcoins to save them from their struggling environment that we're living in at the moment. So it is the last thing on their mind. And when the money comes back in, the money printers turn back on, and people have access to, if it's stimulus checks or inflation eases substantially, and people have more money to spend again, then the markets will rip higher again. But I don't see crypto market doing as well, especially as well as the stock market. I see it going a lot lower into the recession coming. Okay, as the reality kicks in after this election is over, and people will be, pretty shocked that the analysts are wrong again, and the Fed's wrong, and everyone's wrong, and the contrarians like myself, and many others, the minority in the hard landing camp are proven right eventually, because it takes time to be proven right, and the soft landing narrative and the no landing people will just scurry, and they'll change their tune and join in with the bears, but it'll be too late. Okay, so that is that. And looked at the charts, looked at Bitcoin, looked at Ethereum, looked at ETH versus Bitcoin, looked at Solana versus ETH, and all the different alts versus ETH and Bitcoin dominance, and Bitcoin and ETH plus Bitcoin dominance. USDT dominance to see where everything's going and what is resulting moves ahead and where I see things going. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Yeah. Get the idea. There's nothing really exciting in the markets at the moment. And when you get some volatility kick in after some events in economics, and yeah, I don't know. It's after the election's over, I think the eyes will be on the market, and I do see a recession happening shortly after, and that's when the risk assets will do poorly, and I'll be really excited then. I'll be just screaming at everybody, especially when QE kicks in. That's when I'll be preparing myself, not going all in, just watching, observing, and because QE happens doesn't mean the market's bottom and it's all good from there. That can go lower. Okay, after QE happens, it doesn't mean the market's bottom. It means that they can go lower, and it's about being alert and just keep watching and wait for the indicators to flash. Okay, to signal that we can come out of this, and the Fed come in and they say the day again, and that's when you know, okay, things are looking quite good again and promising, and the recession will end, and people will get optimistic again, and you want to get involved when that happens. Okay, and it's just a matter of time. It's been taking so long. I've been sitting down in this market all year. I'm just bored. I'm angry. I'm just frustrated, but I'm stacking cash in the meantime, waiting for my opportunity to pounce on this. That's what it's all about. It's being patient, and you'll be rewarded very handsomely, hopefully life-changingly. So if you enjoyed this video, please smash the like, comment your thoughts below, subscribe to stay updated. Please be sure to check out the links below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.